Welcome back to episode 6 of EverQuest Thornblade Adventures. This is the rudest behavior I've seen so far on this server. This needs to stop. In the last episode, I got to level 46 on both characters in Carnor's castle. I also saw some fans of the channel. Thank you so much for your support. Pick back up in Carnor's castle. Leveling is a lot slower without that experience bonus on. Started out rough, got a left courtyard camp again, but there was this moat group pulling right courtyard, and these mobs passed so close to us that they aggroed onto us, and we had to run. Got trained, but it was all okay. They apologized about it, and they had their cleric res us all up, so no big deal, it happens. The group changed a bit over time, and I actually didn't need to pull for once, crazily enough. This monk named Avendia took over and did a better job than I have been doing. Actually pulled some names from deep in the zone. Got Hangnail and some construct of Sathirs. And I messed up tagging and accidentally brought a second construct that ended up killing some people. You know, my bad. One was just about the maximum we could handle because it hit really hard. But I got to level 47 on both characters here. And I started to play the Shaman a lot better. This SK tank did a really good job of holding aggro, but I made a point to stand close. So when you cast slow as a Shaman, it grabs a lot of aggro. And I found it's best to stick right next to the tank so he doesn't have to run to rip it off of you. And it doesn't flip position of the mob so it goes after DPSers on the rear. In EverQuest, mobs are a lot easier to hit when you attack from behind. You maybe only land like less than half of your swings if you attack from the front, but if you attack from behind, you'll land like 75% of the time. So positioning is really important, and controlling aggro is too. On some raids, there's some mobs that riposte so hard from the front that if the mob swaps position to the DPS on the rear, they turn around, it'll wipe all your DPSers in 30 seconds flat. You can get guild kick for this, it's no joke. But the Jaundice Bone Armor was helping out a lot. I was able to throw out some nukes with the Bracer and keep up agility, dexterity, and strength buffs with no needed mana. It's really nice. And the instance pick we were in eventually closed, and we decided to end the group there. After that group, I wanted to see if I could get one of those pre-nerf Dark Elf masks. The heyday of farming them on Thornblade is over, so I wouldn't be competing with any legitimate groups there. Nobody was camping it anymore for experience. So I helped my shaman get down to the camp, and we set up shop. The difficulty with lower Guck is that because a lot of the mobs are undead, they see through invisibility, so I had to clear to get down there. But otherwise, when you're in camp, it's not that bad. You get 3 level 30s frogs that are pretty easy to manage, and the spawn timer is about 25 minutes. Long wait. I ended up getting a Rubicite breastplate because of this special loot system here on Thornblade. Never even seen one of those before. It has a 3 hit point regen bonus. And I killed so many ghoul assassins and had no luck. It got super late at night and I had to give it a rest. And unfortunately, the next day would be even worse. This is the most rude behavior from a player I've seen on this server. Should this person get banned? So I logged on again to continue camping the Ghoul Assassin for a few hours the next day. Only people in the zone were just some power levelers that didn't even come close to this camp. Nobody wanted to group here. They're all in Karnor. So then a person shows up, Maltar, a level 60 monk with his epic. And usually people have been nice, This mage called Mooncat was really helpful to me. If most people see you at a camp, they'll give you some space. It's just polite. But not for Maltar. I'm 47 and he's 60. Plus he has his epic, so if he wants to edge me out, he easily can. He's got the DPS to do it. And that's what happened. He beat me out. In Project 1999, this is explicitly bannable. You can't just come in, take a person's established camp, and then kill steal their mobs. However, on TLP servers, the rules are different. Kill stealing and camps are not recognized by Daybreak Games. The rule is that DPS is king. Whoever does more damage wins. Fair or unfair, doesn't matter. So even if I reported him, he wouldn't get banned, and I wasn't gonna report him. He just did it once. You know, it's not a big deal. Everybody makes mistakes. But I made it clear to Maltar, please don't do it again. And that would have been it. This part of the video wouldn't exist. So why does it? He kill stealed the second time. This is toxic behavior. It should not be tolerated. So if you can't report them to Daybreak Games, what do? Talk to their guild leadership, find out who they are in the EverQuest forums, and send a tell. In every guild I've been in, if you act this way, you're gonna get kicked. This behavior reflects very badly on a guild. So I talked to an officer of Cowboys and Camels, and the officer told me that he didn't support what Maltar did. He would consider docking some DKP from him, but the officer also said that Maltar had been known to do rude behavior before like this, and he didn't know what to do to stop it. Then the officer then recommended me to talk to the guild leader, and what the guild leader said shocked me more than anything else. Quote, I don't really police guild members outside of raid time. It's kind of their time to do what they want. That is absolutely ridiculous. So in this Cowboys and Camels guild, from the leader's mouth himself, it's okay to act toxic towards other people, just don't do it on raid. And the shame is this is not the first time I've had a run-in with this guild. In episode 4, another member of their guild, Murder, came into our basement camp in Unrest and monopolized the name down there, Grano Ruxif, from us, when we were the legitimate group there. And there's not much that can be done. Again, DPS is king, even if it's a level 60 taking mobs from a level 20 to 30s group. But if you're playing on the Thornblade server, please watch out for some guild members of Cowboys and Camels, especially Maltar and Murder. You can't ban them. You can't get members disciplined from their leadership, so all that's left is publicly showing what they do. I don't like stirring up drama, but the only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing. Turning a blind eye against this is something I will not do. For the health of the EverQuest community, this kind of behavior needs to be stopped. So I got a group in Sebilis on the Shaman, ABC camp. We got plenty of names and got up to level 48 here, but I want to address the hardcore raiding scene, since I've already been talking about it this whole video. On every single server, there's typically going to be a guild that wants to be the first at everything. The first one to clear raid content, the one that wins the majority of open world raid fights. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's actually a badge of honor to be the first. But oftentimes, to be that guild, you have to place sportsmanship aside. The top guild in the server is oftentimes the most hated, sometimes out of irrational jealousy, but other times completely warranted. To be that top guild on a server, you need numbers. You need to get people who can log on at 2 AM on a workday. And to get those numbers, some hardcore guilds will recruit anyone, including players that no other guild would even tolerate. So the vast majority of negative behavior you'll see on these TLP servers are either with hardcore players or power level crews. And my contention is that if these hardcore guilds don't keep their members in check, it's going to create a toxic atmosphere on that server. I want to be clear, I don't have an issue when it comes to open world raids. You gotta do what you gotta do to win these contested fights, and I don't think anyone who participates in these open world raid targets expects it to be clean. It's almost always nasty. It just is what it is. But this competitive behavior goes way too far when it impacts the casual community in just grouping zones. What business does a level 60 have taking a name from an existing group of, say, level 30s? The casual community are the lifeblood of EverQuest. Their subscriptions keep this game alive. You think they want to play after they get repeatedly screwed over by hardcore players? They'll go play something else. And if you want EverQuest to exist 5 years from now, like I do, then stop screwing over casuals or there will be no game, because they'll stop paying to play. And the thing that disappoints me the most out of all this is there's nothing that Daybreak Games or these hardcore raiding guilds will do to stop this behavior. How is that Project 1999, a free-to-play game with volunteer staff, can do a better job at reining in toxic behavior than official servers that you have to pay 10 to 15 bucks a month to be on? Please prove me wrong, Daybreak Games. Please prove me wrong, hardcore guilds. I don't want EverQuest's future legacy. I don't want this game to be known as a dying game where a small subset of rude players can do whatever the hell they want unopposed, consequence-free, and they screw over the longtime fans of this game who come back out of nostalgia. They want to have fun. And the moment they encounter some of these types of players, that memory just gets tarnished. It just gets ruined. Please don't let EverQuest's legacy become that. But thank you all for watching. It's more ranting than I wanted to, but I deeply love this game, and I don't like seeing what it has become as of late. If no one's going to talk about it, then I got to.